let's talk for a minute. So today, I want to talk about three really distinct and separate subjects that all are interconnected and interwoven in one topic in the SCA. Now those are the subjects of rank, prestige, and precedence. Now for our purposes, we're going to talk about the first and the third to begin with. Rank is an award given ultimately by the crown in the SCA. Anything with rank has to have the signature of the crown, whether it's an award of arms, a grant of arms, or a peerage. It has to have the crown signature. The only exception to that is the crown themselves, and that is a rank you earn on the battlefield, or rather on the tournament field. So, your rank is given to you. Now that bears the question. I hold a grant of arms. I hold a Star of Merit, which is the Ansteorra grant level award for service. If I am in the room with a Centurion, which is our grant level award for heavy weapons combat, who outranks who? Now, the fact of the matter is that on the question of rank, technically speaking, neither of us do. We're both grant holders. He holds a grant of arms, I hold a grant of arms. The rank, literally speaking, the word for rank is very broad. It's a blocky measurement. You have non-armigerous awards, which carry no rank. You have armigerous awards, which carry an AOA rank. You have a grant level award spectrum. Those carry the grant of arms. You have the peerage awards, which carry a patent of arms or a peerage. And then, of course, the very small exception above that are the royal family, the crown, prince and princess, and past members of the crown. But those are blocks. Those are block ranks. You can't say, you technically speaking can't say someone outranks the other one, because ranks only come in AOA, grant, peerage, and of course the royals. But yet it doesn't work that way. We understand this. We understand that no. Someone who has been a grant longer than I have, they have seniority on me. You're right. But seniority isn't rank. It is seniority. Now, how do we establish seniority? That's through precedence. Now, how is precedence established? They've held their grant of arms longer than I have. That's precedence. That's how we measure that. So if we have an Iris of Merit, which is our grant level Arts and Sciences award. We have myself, a Star of Merit, and we have someone in the room who's a Centurion. That's Arts and Sciences, Service, and Combat. And we're all grant holders, and assuming none of us are peerages, we're all technically the same rank. But, who's held their rank longer? And that's establishing precedence. Good example. My wife holds her grant of arms through her Iris. Now, she subsequently got a Star of Merit, so she's a double grant holder. But she received her grant of arms before I did. So we're the same rank, but she has precedence over me. So you will hear that conversation in a lot of different settings in the SCA. Heralds, especially court heralds, are notorious for talking about it because proper rank is important in ceremonies. Who goes first, who sits where, what order of business takes place. These are all based in large part on rank, and then when you have to differentiate between similar ranks, it comes down to precedence. Now this sounds archaic. This sounds perfectly SCA because it sounds like something that would have been done before more enlightened times. But the fact of the matter is that this practice persists through to this day. Seniority between officers of the same rank or enlisted of the same rank in the military is established on who enlisted or who received their rank or who received their commission, that particular commission rank first. There's a really famous story, at least among the military history students like myself, of two captains in the British Royal Artillery who the major over their battery had been removed for, I believe, a medical reason, and it came down to these two guys, and they had to sort out very quickly who had seniority. And the argument was settled because one of them, his papers were signed on the 3rd of May the year before, and the other guys were signed on the 1st of May that same year. So by a question of 48 hours, seniority was established over this battery of artillery. And why this story is even relevant was these were two men who went ashore in the follow-up waves to the British operational part of D-Day. So within the grand scheme of things, a very modern example. The HBO show Band of Brothers. If you listen to the first episode closely, Korehi, one of the major plot arcs in there is the commanding officer of Easy Company is relieved of duty, and one of the things he asks is who's going to take my place, and the major overseeing the battalion says, well, I can't remember the guy's name, but this lieutenant has seniority. Now, the fact of the matter is you have a lieutenant commanding a company. That's kind of extraordinary circumstance. A company is normally a captain's billet. But all the platoons in the company command at that particular point were commanded by lieutenants. And the commanding lieutenant was selected because he had had his commission as a lieutenant longer than the other guys. It wasn't a question of merit. It wasn't a question of skill. It wasn't a question of test scores. It was a question of whose date was oldest on the papers. So these are modern examples of that same principle of who has held this rank longer. 3 lieutenants are all the same rank. If they're all first lieutenants or all second lieutenants or they're all lieutenants or whatever rank system you use, they are all the same rank. And you can't really say someone outranks the other one. I don't outrank my wife. My wife does not outrank me. But they have precedence over each other based on the length of time that they've held their respective ranks. So that is kind of the interrelationship between those two. You have rank and you have precedence. Now, where does prestige set in? Now, we all know what prestige is, the ambiance, the importance, the gravitas that comes with something. But how does that play in? And I'll give you a really good example. First of all, let's start in the SCA. In Ansteorra, we have a rank. It's called the Lion of Ansteorra. Now, I've actually been playing long enough to say that its meaning and what it stands for has morphed over the years. But it is, in broad terms, considered the defender of the dream. Someone whose goals in life, whose conduct in the SCA, whose efforts help project, uphold, and protect the idea of the dream. Now, for those of you outside Ansteorra, just a little bit of technical background on that. It is an award that can be given only by the Crown, of course. Only one may be given per reign. So the Crown has to think long and hard about who they make a lion. But here's the catch. The lion has no rank to it. It does not carry the peerage or patent of arms. It does not carry a grant of arms. It does not carry an award of arms. It is non-armigerous. In terms of rank and precedence, the Lion of Ansteorra carries none of that. It will not advance your rank standing 1 point. But I can tell you there are people who openly say, in jest, that they want a peerage, but they lust after lion. Now, I'm imagine a bunch of you are probably sitting there going, that doesn't make any sense. Why would it not have rank? It should be made a peerage, or it should be made a grant to reflect its importance. Believe it or not, there's historical context for this, including modern context for this. Now, here's a really good example. Let me tell you a little story. So a friend of mine called me one time. They do event planning. And they said, hey, you know a lot about history. I said, okay, yeah. What do you need to know? And he goes, well, we're organizing this big college graduation. And I'm looking at the guest list, and a couple of the big high rollers are coming in. And I got a guy coming in. He's the grandfather of the valedictorian. And I'm looking at his signature, and he's got 2 letters after his name I've never seen before. I was wondering if you knew what this was. And I said, okay, where are the letters? And he goes, VC. And I sat there for a second. And I said, is he coming from a Commonwealth country? And they go, oh yeah, he's flying in from Edinburgh. Okay, what that means is you get him the best seats in the house. You grab the company credit card and you buy him a bottle of champagne, not less than $75 in value. And the guy goes, what are you talking about? What does VC mean? Isn't that like a doctor or something? I said, no. VC stands for Victoria's Cross. And for those of you that might not know what that means, that is the English counterpart, or rather I should say the other way, but that is the English equivalent to the United States Military Medal of Honor, the highest award for gallantry that a United Kingdom soldier can receive. And in point of fact, this guy had received the Victoria's Cross. Later in a follow-up conversation, apparently he had received it during British actions, I believe during the Korean War, might have been early Vietnam. No, he's legitimately Victoria's Cross recipient. And that's a really good example of prestige, because it didn't matter what rank he was. I think, as a matter of fact, he retired as like a sergeant or something, but he received that award when he was a corporal. I didn't ask his rank. We didn't ask what service he was in. We didn't ask where he served. At the time, all we knew was that he'd received the Victoria's Cross. And on that basis alone, I was willing to say enthusiastically, and would say it again today, this man deserves special treatment. He's earned it. And realistically, and I tell that story because I like getting people outside of the area they know and are comfortable with. Realistically, I think any one of us would probably say the same thing if we found out a guest were traveling to a party and they were a recipient of the U.S. Medal of Honor. It doesn't matter what service they're in at that point. It doesn't matter what battle they fought, and it doesn't matter what their rank is. What we know is that they received the Medal of Honor. End of discussion. That deserves a certain unique form of respect. That award is highly prestigious. Now, prestige and rank, they kind of flirt with each other, but they're not interconnected. Again, going back to the military example, if you are a staff sergeant in the United States Army and you receive the Medal of Honor, does that give you any rank? Can you now boss around captains? Can you tell an officer what to do if you have the Medal of Honor? No. You're still enlisted. You're still a sergeant. Does it increase your pay at all? No. No, it doesn't. Not even retroactively. Does it give you any special privileges in a combat area or a deployment zone? No. No, it doesn't. It is a recognition for an act of conspicuous gallantry or bravery under fire. But it doesn't give you any rank or any precedence. If you are a private first class and you receive the Medal of Honor, you are still outranked by every corporal and up in the military. But yet, the very title Medal of Honor carries prestige. Now, I say that the two flirt because the fact of the matter is that ranks carry their own prestige. We talk about generals and admirals. I mean, culturally, those terms, even without knowing anything about who has the rank, saying someone is a general, saying someone is an admiral, saying someone is a colonel, saying someone is a sergeant major, it doesn't. They could have pushed papers their entire career and never fired a gun or never stepped on board a ship once. Just saying the rank carries with it gravitas or prestige or expectations, however you want to put it. We can be as nebulous or as specific as you want. Ranks carry with them a certain amount of prestige. How does this apply to you? How do you use this? And the fact of the matter is that really you don't. There's, for you personally, the SCA is about enjoying yourself and improving who you are. If you're studying an art or researching, or if you are bettering yourself in service, or you are a combatant studying your art form, your martial art form, you need to focus on doing that better. You need to focus on study and practice. You need to focus on the community you're part of. If you're a herald, if you're a master of ceremonies, these things are going to become bread and butter for you because it's how we organize courts. It's how we sort out paperwork. It's, there are people that actually enjoy sitting down with a list of names and figuring out who has the higher rank and ordering people. It's a geek thing we enjoy doing. But prestige, now that's something you can control, and that is by really being as good a person as you can be. Because like I said, prestige flirts with rank. If you receive the Medal of Honor as a private, does that give you rank? No. But chances are the personal characteristics that got you that award in the first place are probably going to come up at your next review board, and you're going to be able to make corporal faster than some other guys. As an AOA player, are you ever going to outrank a grant? Is there ever going to be a situation where grants are going to defer to you? Probably not. But if you work hard to be dignified and hardworking and engaging and to further the community and to better yourself, you will develop prestige where you might be seen as the effective equal. You may not have rank, you may not be the same rank as them, but they're going to refer to you, they're going to defer to you, they're going to talk with you as someone who's been there, who's learned that, who has contributed to the community. And after a while, hopefully, likely, if everyone else is doing their job and putting in award recs, you'll receive a rank which properly reflects your prestige. So, I could go on, honestly, I could go on for hours about this. It's a wonderfully complicated, nuanced topic. But rank, precedence, and prestige. I just want to put that out there so that you understand how they interconnect, how they reflect in the modern day. These are not antiquated terms or practices, and how they are used in the SCA. So, if you have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments. And I do want to ask, if you're enjoying these videos, please make sure to like and share them and subscribe when you get the chance. That really does help the channel and helps get the word out. Until next time, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you at the next event.